This capital city of San Carlos, some 1,000 jet miles south of Miami, lies at the foot of a smoking volcano, on an unreclaimed swamp surrounded by steaming jungle. It's a place that no one ever visits unless he has to, and having been once, never comes back again. Even the mosquitoes avoid it. There are, however, certain other pests. Gracias. Hotel Miramar, please.
To the hotel. You are to come with me.
Oh, may I ask where we'll be going?
To see the general, of course. He's most impatient.
Oh, by all the rules, one can hardly ignore an impatient general, can one?
Especially this general.
And the rules will have to be changed, won't they? For two very good reasons. One, I have no idea who the general is. And two, I have no idea who you are.
But you gave the sign of recognition. I saw you. You removed a flower from your buttonhole.
And three, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Look, I don't want trouble, eh? And you can be big trouble, Simon Templar.
Aren't you a little nervous for this sort of work?
You've come here to see General Cuevas. Yet you won't permit me to take you to him. But why?
I wish you'd stop harping on the same old theme. I have no idea who General Cuevas is.
And what brings you to San Carlos?
The climate.
No. You are here to deliver a message.
Am I?
Mm-mm.
What sort of message?
Concerning the delivery of certain supplies, as you well know. Come on!
All right, I do have a message.
I knew it. Well,
The message is, I'm going to take that gun out of your hand and break it over your skull.
Julio, vámonos!
Do you know a place called the Crown and Heather?
Sí, señor.
Fine, take
¿Qué
it.
pasa, señor?
Nada, have this dry clean for me, will you? Vargas?
Simon! Oh, it's been a long time.
Not long enough to change Fergus McClish. What is this? A pub or the old curiosity shop?
Oh, just a wee bit of home in this flaming city.
Oh, can a thirsty man buy a drink here?
Not you. You can't buy anything. It was good of you to come, Simon. I haven't the words to thank you.
Well, then don't try it.
To hope. Now you're here, it's come back to me.
How bad was it, Fergus?
That's a fine question to ask a Scotsman who's been swindled out of his life savings. 17,000.
Dollars? Your letter didn't say how, but it must have taken something special to swindle an old fox like you.
Aye, extra special. It was my own greed. I was planning to go home next year for good to put my feet up. I had more than enough to see me through. Then the blackguard showed me how to double my money.
Who is he? Where can I find him?
Humphrey Nestor is what he calls himself. Also calls himself a professor. Are you staying at the Mirrorman?
Mm-hmm.
And he will find you. And there's something else I should tell you, Simon. He has a daughter, Alice.
That's nice.
Aye, you'll be saying that again when you see her.
That is nice.
Cheers.
Cheers. Can't think what we've done to deserve such miserable luck.
Well, for one thing, Daddy, you're getting old.
What about the land deal the old Scotchman bought?
Yeah, and you paid off so many people, you landed up with a fat nothing for yourself.
Well, needed the practice.
We needed the money.
All right, Alice, take your thumb off the button. The panic's not here yet.
Isn't it?
We've 28,000 in the bank, haven't we?
Count again, Daddy. We haven't got a lead penny.
No, look, Alice, half of that belongs to me, doesn't it?
Only when you retire. When you give up hooking suckers and start raising chickens. Not before.
Now, you look here, Alice.
That's the way it was agreed, and that's the way it's going to be.
But if I don't find a sucker quickly, I'll have to borrow from the fund.
You better start looking, Daddy, because the fund isn't lending.
Your baggage has been taken up to your room, senor, and you may go right.
Professor Nestor.
See? Oh, pardon. Borrow your lapis?
Si, senor. Thank you, senor.
Oh, I am sorry.
Quite all right. No harm done.
You may be right. For a change.
Gracias.
You took a long time arriving, Senor Templar. I have been waiting.
Not too uncomfortably, I trust.
I've been resting as a reward for my work here.
Well, don't tell me you're the chambermaid.
Quintana, Capitan, National Security Police.
I suppose you see my baggage, have you?
Yes, I unpacked your bags for you, Senor, and very neatly. You will find everything needing to be hung is hanging.
With one possible exception. Did you find what you're looking for?
There was nothing of interest. Only a letter from Senor McLeish which explains why you have come here.
Well, if you've quite finished with your siesta.
Si, senor, but not with my business. One of my men recognized you at the airport. He observed you talking with one Julio Maderos. True, senor?
That's his name, yes.
What was your business with Maderos?
Why, he seemed to be under the impression that I had some sort of message for him.
Ah, you gave him a message.
No, we exchanged a few pleasantries. Then he left rather hurriedly. End of incident.
I hope it is, senor, for your sake.
Why?
Maderos is a follower of a certain General Cuevas, a man who plans to take over the country as his own personal domain. If these men are not stopped, senor, there will be much bloodshed.
They sound like a nice, happy little group.
They are desperate men and extremely dangerous. You will report any further contact directly to me.
I will.
Be very careful, senor. These people are killers. Let them catch you off guard for one single moment, and I wish you a most pleasant stay in San Carlos, senor.
It's been nothing but laughs so far.
Bruto! Crazy! Fool! Do you realize what you've done?
No, General.
You have revealed us to a possible enemy.
But there's nothing to indicate that the Templar is against us.
He is with us, imbecile?
No.
And what brings a man like the infamous Simon Templar to San Carlos?
I don't know.
Then you had better find out. And if you have the slightest suspicion he is working against us, well, fire.
I have spoken to my cousin, the one who is a bellhop at the Hotel Miramonte.
Yes?
He says that this man Templar has had a talk in his room with Capitan Quintana.
Did he hear what was said?
No, General. My cousin could not stay to listen. He had to go upstairs to deliver some ice water to an American tourist.
I am surrounded by fools and incompetents.
Si, General.
Very well. We shall now see if two idiots working together are more efficient than one idiot by himself. The two of you will go to the hotel. You will dog the footsteps of the Senor Templar day and night until you find out what he's doing here. Is that clear? Claro?
Si, General.
I doubt it. Go now, the pair of you out of my sight. And Julio.
Si, General.
Buy yourself a sleeve.
Thank you.
Waiter, would you like to bring me a champagne cocktail, very dry? Make sure it's out of the oldest bottle you got.
Very good, senor.
Hiya.
Hi.
A man to drink champagne is a man I can do business with.
Relax, Daddy, and stop quivering.
Hello?
Simon.
Harvey?
It's me, lad. Fergus McLeish. I'm calling like you said I should.
How's that Canadian deal shaping up? They ready to close? They what? Well, how much more do they want? 40,000? 50? All right, pay them what they ask. Sure, I know it's a hold-up, but you don't run across properties like this every day, do you? Now, you just pay them what they want and call me back. Bye.
It's what they want, like it grows on trees.
Stop drooling, Daddy, and start thinking of ways and means.
Oh, I thought. The oldest game of them all.
The frog?
Yeah, have you got it with you?
Of course.
Camera?
That, too.
You're a good daughter.
I know. Now, let's see how good you are. And, Pappy,
Yeah?
try not to ham it up too much.
Right.
Okay, Daddy, you first.
I bring your bag in case no thieves are around.
This is of no value. He's sipping his drink. That's all.
Our orders were to observe.
Well, then you stay and observe. I am going upstairs to search his room.
Pardon me, sir, if I might impose on you for a moment. Would you be kind enough to take a snap of my daughter and myself?
Be delighted, sir.
Thank you. My name is Professor Humphrey Nestor.
Sebastian Toombs?
This is my daughter, Alice.
How do you do?
It's very kind of you, Mr. Toombs, but we never get a photograph of the two of us together. Is this all right?
Just fine.
We ought to have one with the frog.
Oh, no. We mustn't take up too much of Mr. Toombs' time.
Oh, that's quite all right, Professor. I have nothing but time.
Would you move in for a close-up, please? Thank you, sir. You have been most kind.
No, at all. It's my pleasure. That's quite an unusual piece. It looks like solid gold.
It is.
Oh, now, Daddy, don't you think that's rather rude? After all, anyone might be curious.
Oh, of course, sir. My apologies, Mr. Toombs. I didn't wish to bore you.
On the contrary, I'm sure it'll be fascinating.
Why don't you join us?
Well, thank you kindly.
I don't suppose you've heard of the Atelipus Nestor?
Do you catch it with a rotten line or from walking barefoot on hotel floors?
Oh, wait, champagne, please.
It's the sacred golden frog of the Aztecs. Daddy discovered it. That's why it's named after him.
You see, the ancient jungle cultures of South America made a fetish of the golden frog, used it in all their sacred rites.
It is fascinating.
Daddy spent a great portion of his life tracking down this artifact. All his holidays. Once we even spent an entire term away from the university.
I don't mind telling you, sir, many's the time I almost gave up in despair.
But you didn't. He never quits.
Did you go along too?
Why, of course. I wouldn't have missed it for the world.
Oh, she goes everywhere. She has always been a tomboy.
I find it quite difficult to imagine you as any sort of boy. Just how did you go about finding this frog, Professor?
Well, it's a long story, Mr. Toombs. The point is we succeeded. We not only found this exceptional specimen, but all of its kind that ever will be found.
You mean more than one?
Oh, yes, 37 to be exact, in a cave, into which we stumbled by the sheerest accident.
It's amazing. Are they all the same size?
3 of them are enormous, as big as footballs.
Solid gold.
Of course.
If I'd known an archaeologist could hit pay dirt like that, I'd have gone in for it myself.
What sort of business are you in, Mr. Toombs?
Well, I guess you could call me a speculator. I dabble in anything that looks interesting. I'm happy to say, so far, I've done pretty well just playing my hunches.
Oh, I wish I could say the same. Well, you must excuse me. I have an appointment with the curator at the museum.
Poor darling.
I must have missed something along the line. If I had a horde of gold statues, I'd be jumping for joy.
Unfortunately, the idols are still in the cave. And since we're born with only one head, we must be very careful not to lose it.
There are headhunters in the jungle?
There are. It would take an expedition to get to those idols, and we haven't got the money.
I see. Interesting. Very interesting.
If I could get just a few of those frogs for Daddy, I wouldn't care what happened to the others.
Wouldn't you?
Suppose I managed to find a businessman who was a bit of a gambler and made a deal with him on my own.
What sort of deal?
Well, suppose that in return for financing the expedition, he got to keep half the golden frogs. Is there any mail for me?
No, senorita, I'm sorry.
Would you think I'd done something very wrong?
I'd say you deserve a medal, a gold one, of course. Look, would you and your father like to have dinner with me tonight?
Why, yes, he'd love to.
Wonderful. And if you should decide to make someone an offer concerning these frogs of yours, well, I'd be delighted if you let me have first crack.
I will. That's a promise.
Fine. I'll see you here at 8.
Mm-hmm.
Yes?
Telegram, Senor Templar.
Telegram. Oh, yes. Yes, telegram.
Now, my friend, the next time you decide to search my room, make a little less noise about it, all right?
I tell you, General, there was nothing among his possessions to reveal why Templar has come to San Carlos. Nothing, nothing.
Obviously, he's not here to intercept our shipment of arms. They have safely arrived, thanks to Vargas.
But, General, wasn't Senor Vargas' mission only to arrange for the shipment of the guns and to send us a message concerning when we might expect a delivery?
See, Julio. I see your point. Our comrade took a daring risk running the guns himself. But I have no fault to find, since fortunately for Vargas, he succeeded. Now, our problem is to get these weapons to our men who are training in the jungle. Ah, Paco. Good. What did you find out?
Everything, General. This Professor Nestor, according to my cousin, is a swindler. He pretends to know where there is a cave in the jungle where there are golden statues. Statues of frogs.
Frogs?
See, General, he finds a rich tourista who is willing to put up the money to go and look for the statues, and then a boat is hired. They go up the river away where there is a fake Indio attack, and then, of course, they have to come back.
And that is all?
See, General, except that this Professor Nestor, he makes plenty money out of this.
You are sure they go into the jungle by boat?
Oh, see, General.
Then it appears our problem is solved. I would like to talk to this Professor Nestor. Bring him here.
Yes, General. Very well. But, General, what if he doesn't want to come with us?
I did not say invite him, Julio. Bring him.
Yes, General.
And Julio,
Yes, General.
buy yourself a sleeve.
Just the man I wanted to see. Come in.
You wish to report Julio Madera's attack on you?
Well, I'm sure you know all about that. However, I do want to talk about your insurrectionists.
Yes.
You know who they are?
Their leader is General Cuevas, as I've already told you.
Will you sit down? Why don't you arrest him?
I said I know who, senor, but not where. Julio Maderas is the only man we ever see. If we could capture Cuevas, the revolution would be over before it even begins.
And surely if you follow Medeiros, he'll lead you to Cuevas.
That is the only reason Julio is not in prison. My men are tailing him day and night.
And you've learned nothing?
Only that Julio can lose my men whenever he wants to.
Then you should tail someone else. Someone a little easier.
There is no one else.
Isn't there?
You know someone who can lead us to General Cuevas? Tell me.
Of course, Captain. But first, I want to be sure that this valuable contribution to the nation's welfare evokes a small show of gratitude.
How much?
Oh, I don't want money.
What do you want?
A scrap of paper. A document signed by the President of the Republic. Your father approved of the deal.
He nearly went through the roof when I suggested parting with half the frogs.
Yeah, I bet.
But I pointed out the advantages of half a loaf as compared to none, and he had to agree.
It's too bad he couldn't join us for dinner. We could have started working out plans.
Oh, we'll meet Daddy later. He's gone to visit Lauro,
Lauro?
the native guide who took us into the district. He's a full-blooded Indian. If it hadn't been for him, we'd never have made it back alive.
Surely he won't want to go back there.
Well, that's what Daddy's seeing him about. He wants us to join him there.
Yeah, that'll do.
I don't know, Prof. These gigs get me down. All that heat. And the flies. And the jungle, it's dirty. I don't like it.
Are you holding out for more money?
Did I say I wanted more money?
I'm paying you $1,000. That's not a lot of money for a man who lives in fried bananas.
Believe me, Prof, it ain't the money. It's just that I don't like that dirty jungle.
All right. I'll make it $1,200.
Do you mean it?
Yeah.
Professor, you got yourself an Indian.
That'll be him. Get ready. Now, are you ready?
All Indian, but the simple, the sweet, the innocent Indian, are you right?
Right.
Yeah. And I love you like a father.
Mr. Toombs?
Now it won't be so easy to capture Nestor. This man Templar is the devil in person.
And do not worry, amigo. I have a way with devils. With this, I can handle Satan himself. Yeah, we'll anchor here at the bend of the river. Rincon del Rio, it's called. From there, the expedition proceeds on foot.
How many men will we need?
I'd say about 30.
30.
Oh, we must show a force of strength, Mr. Toombs. Enough to keep that tribe of headhunters at a safe distance. It's the only way.
Now, just a minute. We're going to be carrying an awful lot of gold, we hope. And with 30 armed men, we're bound to find more than one believer in free enterprise. So it could be goodbye gold, and worse still, goodbye world.
Young master speak with straight tongue. Soldiers steal gold frogs. Lauro no plan. Make all here fill up with joy.
What is it?
Take guns. Let Indios have it.
You mean shoot the Indians?
No, no, shoot the guns. Give the guns. Guns for Indios, gold frogs to masters.
Or do you think they'll trade?
Oh, they trade. Headhunters get the guns, get the more heads. Also, get heads the more quick.
Including ours.
No, no, master. You keep heads. Part of plan. I make talk with chief. Him good man. He say word, he keep word.
Well, how many guns do you think we'll need?
100, 200.
Also bullets.
But that's impossible. There aren't that many guns in this country.
Oh, Loro buy, dear father. Loro no man with much guns left over from last revolution. High price, but man sell. Give $10,000. Man sell.
Well, we wouldn't really be saving anything, would we?
Oh, yes, Queen of Light. Big save. Save trouble. Save fighting. Also, save heads, eh?
Oh, we wouldn't have to recruit an army. I like it.
You two run along. I want to discuss some of the finer points with Laurel.
I'll make arrangements with the bank. First thing tomorrow morning.
Bank? Mr. Toombs?
Regarding the necessary finance, Professor.
Well, finance, of course.
Good night, Laura.
Night, Laura. Good night, Daddy.
Good night, my dear. Mr. Toombs?
It's only Templar and the senorita.
Now we'll wait for Nestor.
When he's gone, Julio, you go and wait by the house.
How'd I do, Prof? Did I put on a good show?
Most commendable, Laura. You make a very intelligent illiterate.
Thanks.
Now, look, I'm going to arrange for the crates of rocks to be on the quay side. You see they put aboard that ship tomorrow morning, okay?
Sure. Hey, and our sucker will think they're full of guns, huh?
Yeah, that's right.
Professor,
What is it now?
why do we have to go all the way into that smelly jungle? Why don't we just take off when he forks over the cash?
Now, you forget it, because that sucker's going to lose his money legitimately and have nothing to blow to the law about.
Well, it's a lot of work for nothing.
Nothing. Since when is 10 grand nothing?
You are coming with us, senor.
I can't believe this crazy dream is coming true. How can I thank you?
Consider me thanked. Well, I think I'm going to enjoy this trip.
And this tourist, what do you call him?
Sebastian Toombs.
He thinks we'll be taking a cargo of guns up the river.
Oh, no, General. Those crates will be full of rocks, I assure you.
Wrong, senor. Not rocks, guns. You will be taking my guns. Understand?
Yes, General.
One of my men, Colonel Vargas, will go along to make sure that you do. Any questions, Professor?
Yes. Well,
Go on.
well, I was wondering. I'm a businessman, General. I wondered if there was something in it for me.
Oh, there's a lot in it for you, Professor. Quite a lot. Your life.
Fine type of night to be calling on people. Oh, it's you, Simon. Come in,
Yes.
lad. Come in. Have you brought back my money?
Not quite, but it's beginning to look promising. How well do you know the jungle?
It's better than most.
You know a place called Rincon del Rio?
The bend in the river, I know it.
Are these what I think they are?
Fool's gold, not worth anything.
Oh, well, they may be worth more than you think. Go and get dressed, Fergus. You're going to the jungle.
The jungle.
Rincon del Rio, to be exact.
Rapido, rapido!
Careful. Right. Everything straight?
Just a few more cases.
Good.
Hey, the sucker come through with the bread.
Yeah, I got his check.
Check! Professor, have you popped your cork?
A certified check as good as money. And Laura, will you drop the hip talk until this gag is over? Remember, you're an Indian. Hey, quit out, look at us! Look out, don't break those boxes. That'd thicken the plot to have one of those things bust open, wouldn't it?
Come on. Well, why the sweat? They're only filled with rocks.
Yeah.
How's it going, Daddy?
Oh, fine. Come on. Careful with it now. Don't want them busted. All right, now look. As soon as he's gassed up, tell him to get going, right?
Sure.
Aren't you forgetting something?
What?
The reason for this merry cruise. Where's Mr. Sebastian Toombs? You're not looking your bubbly old self today, Pop. Anything bothering you?
No.
Who's that?
This is, I forgot to tell you, we're taking a passenger.
A passenger? Why?
His name is Vargas.
I asked you why. Maybe I should have said how much.
I wonder where Mr. Toombs is.
My men have located the taxis you described. It is much easier to tell than Julio Madero's. My part of our bargain, Senor Templar. You have been of great help, Senor. I am deeply grateful.
I've been well rewarded.
No, Senor. This concession to find gold is not worth the ink that has written it. There is no gold in San Carlos.
Yes, there is, Captain.
But how can you be so sure?
I put it there myself.
Will you come here a moment?
Yes, sir.
Is everything aboard?
Everything, sir.
That's fine. Good morning. There you are, Mr. Toombs.
Sebastian, what kept you?
Oh, I'm sorry. I had to wait for a friend, a business associate, in fact. He was late getting back from a journey. I couldn't leave without seeing him.
Must have been very important.
You might say a man's whole future depended on it. Shall we get underway? Professor, who's that character?
Oh, that's a friend of Laura's. Shall we join Alice in the cabin? We're making good time. Should be at Rincon by mid-afternoon. Well, that's an impressive-looking document you have there. Some sort of a business contract?
This hard-won document grants me the right to prospect for, develop, and keep any precious ores that I might find.
Oh, are there any precious minerals here?
Are there any golden frogs? The natives must have found the gold somewhere. And this Castilian gobbledygook says that if I can find it, I can have it.
I'm not surprised you're successful. You don't miss a trick, do you?
In business, the plums are where you find them.
I go to land, arrange with headhunters, see if they take guns for frogs. They say yes, I know. Then I wait, get frogs. I come back with frogs sometime tomorrow. You give Indios the guns, we all go home. I have tell Capitan. He wait here, look after you.
You be careful, Lauro.
Oh, Laura always careful, Queen of Light. No be afraid. Me come back. No lose head. I go to canoe.
Think you'll be all right, Daddy?
Oh, yes. Laura will be all right. He's done it before.
Many times, I'm sure. Captain, would you like to give me a hand? Now, why don't we all go ashore and look for some minerals?
Well, I wouldn't do that if I were you, not unless you're used to the unbearable heat. It is unbearable, I tell you.
Well, I'd hate to miss any opportunity, Professor, to search for gold, and like Alice, I love the jungle atmosphere. Come on, Alice, you and I will go along. Look at it.
What? Where?
Well, isn't it beautiful?
Oh, yeah, it's great. Ah!
Oh, what's the matter?
I saw something moving over there.
It's just a crocodile.
Just a crocodile. Let's get out of here.
Oh, it won't harm you unless it happens to be hungry. It's nice of you to take this little walk with me.
Oh, I love it. I love the jungle. I love all outdoors.
Yeah, I can see. Now, let's see. This looks a promising direction. You better go first. But watch out for the snakes.
Maybe you better go first.
If you insist. But, watch out for the cougars.
Cougars?
Well, they always attack the last in line, but only if they're hungry. Great fun, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, delightful.
Now you listen to me, senor. When we have finished with this nonsense with the Indios, we'll go up the river to Guardia Island. My comrades will be there to take away the guns.
Hey, and you!
You've not told anyone about these guns.
Not even my daughter. I've done exactly as the general said.
And just you keep on doing that, senor. Because the moment you do not...
Why do you keep picking up rocks? What are you looking for?
Gold, of course. The ancient frog worshippers must have got their gold from somewhere. I figure somewhere must be close to home.
Shouldn't we be starting back to the boat? It'll be getting dark soon.
We have heaps of time. Let's push on a little further, huh? I can't tell you how much I'm enjoying this.
I can't describe it either. Not the way I'd like to.
Now listen. Any of you character slips up, he gets a sock on the nose. Okay? Right, now where's the gear? The racket player, is this still working today? Good. Now what about this? Is it still in good order? I better see for myself. Why, hello, beautiful. Ain't I seen you somewhere before? You stupid bunch, it isn't real. It's only made of paper. Here, take a look for yourself.
Me feel ill.
Couldn't we stop and rest for a while?
Sure, sit down.
Hey, Alice, will you look at this?
What is it?
It's gold!
Darling!
This whole place is teeming with gold!
It's marvelous! You're marvelous! The world is marvelous! I could kiss you!
Why don't you stand there?
Just look at it, darling. A whole mountain of gold, and it's all ours.
Ours, darling? Beautiful hunk of mineral, isn't it? Too bad you and the professor had the headhunters chasing after you the last time you were up here. Otherwise, you might have stumbled across this gold.
It's wonderful that it has been found. Wonderful for all of us.
Alice, sweetheart, are you by any chance under the delusion that we are partners?
Aren't we?
I agreed to finance an expedition to recover the golden frogs, that's all.
But if we hadn't brought you here, you'd never have found the gold.
That's true, and if I hadn't gone onto the terrace of the Miramont Hotel for a drink, I might never have met you. Does that entitle the waiter to a cut? Hear that?
Drums.
What is it, a fiesta in Laura's honor?
No, they only play those drums for a blood ritual. I've heard them before.
Come on, Professor, we better go and have a look.
No, there's nothing you can do. I won't let you go.
Well, in that case, I'll stay.
What's the matter with you? You got a sore throat or something? Come on, you can get out of there. Get going. Where's the head? The head, stupid! Don't tell me you forgot to bring it! Okay, get it ready. Here.
That's a sucker something to think about.
When I give the word Charlie, you hold it up, right? Okay, come on, put some pep in it. Come on.
Bloodthirsty devils!
But Lauro, what have they done with Lauro?
Look! It's a head! Get out of here! Get below, Alice! Get below! Come down! Come down! Move up! Captain!
Now wake up. Show's over. We can go, but not back to St. Carlos. We're going upstream to Guardia Island.
But we must
I know
go!
how you feel. I don't like it either.
Think hard, Daddy, and try to come up with something, even if it's legitimate.
Well, since we were more or less instrumental in his discovering the gold, perhaps he'd sell us a share in the find. Oh,
How could we? We haven't any money.
We've got the money. What's left of the 10,000 we took him for, and what's in the retirement fund.
You said we weren't to touch it.
Well, I've changed my mind. We're heading away from San Carlos, aren't we?
More or less.
Is this something to do with that man Vargas?
Don't concern yourself with Vargas.
We've never had any secrets before. Why start now?
I'll go below while you annoy me.
Okay.
Well, Professor, either I am a little mixed up, or the skipper is. San Carlos is back there.
Oh, yes, more or less.
Then why are we going in that direction?
Well, you see... Senor, because I ordered it. I'm in command here for the next few hours.
And who the devil are you?
Colonel Emilio Vargas at your service, senor.
Colonel, eh? The name of your general wouldn't happen to be Cuevas, would it?
It would indeed, senor.
Professor, getting involved in an insurrection wasn't part of the deal.
I had no choice, Mr. Toombs. They threatened to kill us, both of us, unless we cargoed their guns. Our guns. I mean, they were our guns.
And what happens to us when we've delivered the guns?
If it is not inconvenient, senor, you will remain as our prisoner until our mission is over.
And if it's inconvenient?
The fortunes of war, senor.
Yes, I'm fine. Thanks for your help, Professor. I still say we're going in the wrong direction.
Turn the boat around. Si, senor. Turn it around.
Senor, you are a hero.
Once more, what have I done this time?
General Cuevas and his men have been arrested. Julio Packer the lot. I will personally see you receive the Order of San Carlos, our highest honor.
Oh, that's nice. Has Colonel Vargas turned up?
Who knows what has happened to him? Perhaps he will turn up, but maybe without his head.
You see, Mr. Toombs, we too have an interest in your venture. Your gold discovery will open up the country and make it possible for us to get back our frogs again. Nevertheless, you're not obligated to take up our contract.
So we did contribute something to your good fortune.
You both obviously feel quite strongly about this. Perhaps you're right.
Oh, Sebastian, you will?
How much do you want to invest?
I have here a check for $20,000.
But it was my understanding you were broke, Professor.
So I was, my boy, so I was, but not anymore. Upon our return to San Carlos, I discovered that I, too, had come under the benevolent eye of fortune. Nothing to compare with your good luck, of course.
Oh, what was it, Professor? An unexpected inheritance?
What an extraordinary assumption. That's exactly what it was.
There we are. My receipt.
Thank you.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I have some business to finish up.
I cannot find words to thank you, Mr. Toombs.
Not now, perhaps, Professor, but you will. You will.
Daddy, we did it.
Well, of course. Did you have any doubts that we would? Received from Professor Humphrey Nestor $20,000 for stock in the Golden Frog Mining Corporation, signed Simon Templar.
Who?
Simon Templar.
The saint.
We've been swindled. How can I thank you?
Just send me a postcard from the Helands. Would you ask the room service to send someone out to pick up my bags? Come in. Hello, darling.
Going somewhere?
Yes, business calls. My plane leaves in an hour, unfortunately.
Sorry to see you go, Sebastian. Or would you rather I called you Simon?
You noticed.
That you signed the receipt, Simon Templar, yes.
Well, that was careless of me, wasn't it?
Oh, don't worry. I haven't come to make a scene. In fact, I stopped by to thank you.
Thank me.
Yes, my father finally agrees it's time he retired. I've been trying to persuade him for a year. You did it in a few days.
I wasn't even trying. What's he going to do now?
Go back home, buy himself a business. Some kind of store, I guess.
At the risk of seeming inquisitive, what are you going to use for money?
Oh, we have money. The money we got for the guns.
You sold the guns?
Yes, to the government of San Carlos. It seems they're modernizing their army. That nice Captain Quintana gave us the check.
Incredible.
Why? It's a straightforward business deal. And in business, the plums are where you find them. You taught me that. There was one thing I had to learn for myself, though. After you found the plums, you have to be very careful in choosing which one to pick.